Okay, it's a new day. Calm, collected. House is a mess. Have work to do. But we're going to do this instead. Because I want to. Okay, it was definitely a mistake to start this. Let's just start fresh here, right? Let's just start fresh. I'm going to get through some of these bonuses. Okay. -1 solves and the answer key. So, we know this is a 4. That's just a thing that is a thing that is true in the universe. What I was starting to consider, I was starting to do the coloring because that's what I used to do with Drunken Nights. Like, you know, we can know some things about where these particular digits go. We know this digit's here, etc., etc. I wasn't immediately seeing how that worked together with our 159 situation. Like, it's tempting to just do that. It's tempting to say that this is definitely here, and this is definitely here, and this is definitely here, but what does that mean? I mean, unless you're talking about the 9 specifically, just don't quite get it. I mean, the same rules apply down here, right? We don't know if they're the same digits, but we know these rules do apply, I think. Also remember, knights are involved. Is that the important thing I'm forgetting? The knight situation. I mean, we did figure something out with the 3, right? Didn't we? Didn't we think we knew where the 3 went? No, I can't remember. Like, was it inside here that we were thinking about? Where the 3 is definitely not in there. Definitely not here or here. But it seemed like it could be in one of these 2. And I just can't remember if we fully narrowed that down. Like, one of these people's 3 inside this cage specifically. I don't remember. Talked a little bit about 3 in here. And maybe had some opinions about it. It just doesn't seem very useful. 3 in here would mean 3 was up here somewhere. 3 here would definitely put 3 there. 3 here would put 9 here. 3 here would put 9 here. Just don't remember what we talked about. This wasn't very restrictive in terms of 3-ness, was it? I thought we did better than that with the 3. I thought we arrived at a second 3, but now I don't really remember. How did we do that? How did I decide these things. This couldn't be a 3. I don't know. Is that not the way to think of things? What's the way to think of this? I mean, there's a strong temptation to just color things. We did say that we knew this was low or high. That's, both of these are not middly, right? And they're also not 3. And these are different digits, whatever they are. I don't know why I'm picking the dark colors today. Just wanted that to be. Doesn't feel supremely useful. This, to live in this box, mustn't be in here, nor here, but couldn't we do a little better? Thought we could do a little better in terms of like where we stuck the, because this will place a 5. So there's either a 5 here or there's a 5 here, right? And there's a 5 here or there's a 5 here. That's what we're talking about. The 9 placement and the 1 placement are also the same in that they're low or high, but not 3. Like that's true. That is true. Oops. Is it useful to think about these people at all? This is saying where the 9 goes. No, I feel like I have less insight than I had yesterday, not more. We do know that we end up with blue here. Right? Because it's not in here and it's not there. So blue does end up here. Is that useful? Blue ends up here. Pink does the same thing. But is that meaningful? Like these digits are kind of interesting. If this was the pink, it would take up this, and this would see this. Still have some room. I mean, a thing we did kind of decide. Didn't we talk about... I mean, like, this digit, but this digit could be one of these. It could be 3. Like it, we do know a little about it. Oops. This digit is also over here. Oops. And the same thing is true here. That this digit is also over here. And that means this digit is here. This digit. The thing is, I don't know that these digits are different digits. I know that these are different. So that's true. But these, I don't really know that red and dark blue are not necessarily unique. These all are. These definitely are different digits. And we definitely do know this happens. And we definitely do know this happens. For whatever that may be worth. Might not be much. This does see all of these people. And all of these people. The dark green. I mean, these are other digits, right? These are things that are not from our little selection. These people exist in their own, their own world, right? These are their own bulks. That just leaves gray and dark blue for our full assortment. And we can know a little bit about, say, this digit and what it isn't. Because it's not any of these. This digit is not any of these digits, but it could be blue. Seems like it could be any of those. Gray. Dark green to appear in here can't be here or here or here, and it's not any of these. So dark green's gotta live in there. I don't know, this doesn't, I'm feeling not on track with this situation. Is there a way to do better with any of these digits we have flagged? We know that light blue is here. So we probably know that pink is here. And if this was pink, this would be pink. This is not feeling ultra promising. What are we saying here? We're saying we're positioning yellow. These digits are for positioning yellow. So we know some things about that. Minor things. Like we know some minor things about, yeah, okay. We know some things about yellow here. So this digit, maybe this is what we did yesterday. 3, 4, 5 can't be here. 3, 4, 5 can't be here, right? 3, and even aside from that, we also can't be 6. This can't be 6 because that would put a 5 right here. Also can't be 7 because that would put a 5 there. That feels promising. 1, 2, 8, 9. So that's not middly. Does the same thing apply here? This is not 3, 4, 5, obviously. It's it can be these other digits, though, I think. Certainly not 5. but we're saying that we maybe could put a 5 here and have it be middle, is what we're saying. Five can't be a 2. We're positioning 5s here. We're saying where 5 goes. And 5 sees all the 2s. Right? So 5 is, one of these is 5. One of these people is yellow. Is that true? That means there's no 1 in here because we've used our 1. And oh gosh, that's close. So if 5 is in here, then 2 is not possible. If we put a 5 here, then there can't be a 2 up here. It would only be able to be where could 5 go? What low digit up here would be allowed for 5? Only a 3 right here? We could have 5 here? If 5 is here. Do we run out of runway with our 5 situation? If 5 is here, if 5 is here, that's a 1, and then that means the only place a 5 in here could be is here, which would put a 2 here. So if 5 is here, if 5 is here, we have to have a 2 here. If 5, okay, if 5 is here, we have to have a 2 right here. If 5 is here, we have to have a 3 right here. So if this is 5, then this is 5. Meaning that's 1 and that's 3. Is that okay with a 3? Did we say we couldn't put a 3 there? No. If this is 5, that's 5, and that's 2. So I don't think there's ever a situation where there's a 2 here. Because if we put 2 here, then that's 5. So that's 5. But then we've already used our 2. So I don't think there's ever a 2 there, is what I'm going to say to you. If this is 5, then that's okay. There's a 5 inside the land. Where is 5 in here? It's not here. It's definitely not here. But aren't we saying that 5 is never... Aren't we saying 5 is never 2 up here? Because we said if this is 5, there's a 3 up here. If this is 5, there's a 2 down here. So in either case, there's a 3 up here. And it would have to be, well, in either case, we're saying there's a 3 up here, I think. And in either case, we're saying there's a 2 here. So we're saying there's always a 5 here. And we're saying there's always a 5 here. Is that something that we're saying? I think that's what we're saying. Because we said if 5 is here, there has to be a 2 here. So 5's always in the 2's in that situation. And if 5 is here, there's never a 2 here. That means there's always 2's here. That means there's always 3's here, is what I think that means. So, I feel like once upon a time I thought I knew something about where 3's went. But maybe I didn't. Okay, what else? I mean, it kind of feels like we're on the right track with the 5 consideration, but one of these is definitely a 1. I mean, that's another thing to think about, I guess, is being sure that we get a 1 in every cage, and a 9 in every cage, and a 5 in every cage. Like, just being sure that we address that. If this is 5, then that cage is fine. And then we have our 5 here. Otherwise, 5 is in here. If 5 is in here, then this cage is good and we end up there. Otherwise, 5 is here and then that cage is good. This cage, in terms of 5liness, we're saying 5 could be a 7, which is lame. We're saying we could have a 5 here, maybe. We're saying we could have a 5 here if this is 6, maybe. The fortitude of this cage is a little interesting, in that 4 is not here or here or here, or here or here or here. 4s just don't have very much information the way 1, 5s, and 9s have information. I thought we had some way that we'd pared down our 3s a little, but now I feel less certain. Where is the 3 in here? It's not here. And we're saying it's not here or here because it would... Oh. We're saying 5s are here or here. Aren't we? We're saying 5 is always in a 3. So 5 can't go here because it'd see those with knight's move. So we're saying 5 is always down here. So we're also saying 6 is always up here. So we are saying that there's always a 5 here. Saying there's always a 5 there. And then the high digit. This is a little tricky. We do need a 5. Like, where does 5 go in here then? Doesn't go here because it would see all 3 of those. That's not a 5. We did say that 7, 8, 9 is possible here. 8's not possible here, but I guess 7 and 9 are. 1's not possible. So, and we're saying you're just 5s. There's 5s in here. do we have to be thoughtful about not clobbering? Yeah, a little bit. So in here, in this world, 5 is not here, and 5's not in either of these, and 5 is not green, right? So one of these people is 5, which means that 5 is not one of these people, nor is it this person. So 5 is not 9 here. Sorry, try that one more time. 5 is not one of these. It's not there. Who can be 5? We do have a 7, 8, 9 here. Maybe. And we do have, so this is not a 9, I guess. Doesn't feel super useful, but let's just say it's not here. So these are where our 5s are. I mean, not there obviously, but just finishing our pencil marking of 5s, I guess. Never here. But, So did that help us in terms of any cages who really need their 5s? I don't think so, because just trying to see if somebody accidentally causes problems. This almost does, because we know this digit has to be here. Yeah, I think we can't have a 5 here, actually. Interesting. If you put a 5 here, then 5 has to be here. And if you do that, this 5 sees both of these 5s, and this 5 sees this 5. So this can't be a 5. So this is not a 9. Right? Do we have a similar concern if this is a 5? This can't be a 5. If I put a 5 here, now there can't be a 5 in this cage at all, because it would see, and maybe that's not true. Sorry, let me reconsider that. If I put a 5 here, no, I think what I said isn't true. Where's the 5 in the cage? We just said it's not here. Where's 5 in here? I just feel like we, other than here, it feels like 5 has lots of places to be. We do know that a 5 here, if we put a 5 here, then we know there's a 5 here. Five here forces 5 here. Means we still need a 5 in the cage, so I think it puts a 5 there. And that's a 7. That lets this be a 9. So let's this be a 6. But if we put a 5 here, we need a 5 in the cage. But I think that's fine. Because as far as finding a 5 in the cage, this would rule out these, but there's still places to be, I think. If we put a 5 here, we know that this digit goes here. and this digit goes here. So if we put a 5 here, there's a 5 here. That seems to make you a 5. 7, 8. Or it's a 1. 7, 8, or it's a 1. Do we need to think? I mean, the 5s still feel like the most useful thing. We got 3s, we got 6s, we got 5s, we got 2s. The 9s. Nine is available here. Feels like there's some kind of 5 exclusion that I'm not appreciating. Like this could be a 5, even though it would wipe out these, because that would then be the 5. You know, like 5s in here, truly, I think just see these. So it seems like all of these could be 5s. Is that not true? We're saying that could be 7, 8, 9. We're saying in this row, we're saying 5s can be 3, 6, 7, 9. That's what we're saying. 3, 6, 7, 9 is what we're saying for there. And what we're saying here is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what we're saying for there. We're saying 2, 8, 9 for here. We're saying 2, 5, 8 here. Right? 2, 5, 8 here. We're saying 2, 5, 8, 9 here. That's what we're saying for those. We know the 2's down here, we know the 5's down here. It's just a question of whether it's an 8 or a 9. We know 3 and 6 is up here, but it could be 7, 8, or 9. Is there... Do we know something about the 3's that could help us? Like, can we know a little bit about where 3's are not allowed to be? 3 can't be here, actually. But I think we've always known that, because we said one of these two digits is a 3. I'm pretty sure we said that. One of these two digits is a 3. If that is true, where is 3 in this cage? This 3 sees these two, sees this digit, and it sees this digit. These two see this digit. That means in the cage, you could have a 3 here. And it's lame. I mean, we just know there's no 3 here or here. But you could be 3. Huh. Same thing here, no 3's. That feels important, but I just can't quite see what to do with it. Like we know you're not a 2 and you're not a 2. Is it useful? The 3's, I really thought I knew a little bit more about 3's. I thought I knew a little more about them. But I don't remember. Like, didn't we have another 3? Or we just had some, like... Kind of thought we had placed another 3. But how did we do such a thing? Like, if you try to put 3 in here, it definitely ends up in one of these 2 spots. There's a 3 over here somewhere. That helps a little. Uh-oh. Did I pay somebody last year? Shoot. Ignore that. Okay. 1099 season. 3. Nuts. Does 4 matter? I feel like 4 doesn't matter. I feel like 3 matters. 3 feels like it matters more than any other digit right now, kind of. This is definitely not 3. How can we get 3? Well, we know a little bit. I mean, we do know that 3 is over here. That's a minor. That's minor. We know there's a 3 here. So in here, we know there's no 3s here. And we know there's no 3 here because it would see those. Putting a 3 here. That could be a 3. This is definitely not a 3. This is definitely not a 3, right? Because we know 3's in here, so this is definitely not a 3. So where's the 3 in here? It's not here, because it would see both of these. And it's not here, because it would see both of those. Is that even remotely helpful? Three is in there. 3 can't be here because it sees this and this. Annoyingly, I think 3 could be here and here, but I think our 3s are here. Maybe 3s are not the thing to think about, but here we are. Over here, 3's not there, and neither of these are 3's. So, right, because these 3's would see this, this sees this. That puts 3's over here, which is a little helpful because, why is that helpful? It's not quite helpful, is it? We know there's no 3's in here. So in this neighborhood, 3's are here. Not tremendously useful. 3's definitely not here. The bummer is, like, to get in that cage. Do any of these cause harm to, like, 3 in here is not in here. Do you know anything about threes in here? Did we say anything meaningful about them? Other than that's not a three? I don't really think we did. Yikes. Maybe threes are not the thing to think about. I'm interested in threes. I thought we had threes a little more dialed in. I thought we had 1 3. Am I just completely wrong about that? Like if this is a 3, this is a 3. That seems to be true. And if that is true, we do need a 3 in this cage. So these threes, like we need a 3. We need a 3 in this cage. We need a 3 in this cage, by the way. This, yeah, we need a 3 in this cage. If either of these are 3, if this is 3, there's never a 3 in this cage. If this is 3, there's never a 3 in this cage. If this is 3, we know this is 3, and this is 3. This is 3. And that's okay. If this is 3, these people are not 3. But that seems to be okay. So, what do we do with this information? Can we do any better than that? This being 3. I mean, gosh, that's close to being useful. It's close to being useful. I think it's not useful. It feels close. We didn't even really think about this one yet, right? We are saying though, we are saying that if this is 3, that this is 3 is something we are saying. If this is 3, this is 3. Otherwise, we just have to find a 3 in the mix-up, in the mix. Yikes. Do we know anything about 3s in here that seem fun or cool? Any fun facts about 3s? What does it mean for this to be a 3? If this is a 3, this is a 3. And, oh, okay. This can't be a 3. This is not a 3, is it? Well, this isn't a 3. At least I can say that. Let's think about this for just a minute. Who can be a 3 in here? We've said 3 is inside here, apparently. So these aren't 3. This is not 3. I'm telling you that if this is 3, then this is 3, and then these 3s are all broken. So I think this is not 3. So I think we can say that in this box, these are our 3s. This is not 3, because one of those is definitely a 3. That's not a 3. Is this a 3? The only way this can be a 3 is if this is a 3 and this is a 3. And if we do that, we never... Gosh. If this is a 3, then this is a 3, because there's a 3 in here. And then this has to be the 3. Is that true? No, 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 no. I'm sorry. That's not true. Not true, not true. That's explicitly not true. If this is 3, this is... Did I do the last one correctly? I think the last one was right. This one, though, this puts 3... It has to be here, actually. Because this digit is in the cage. These are the... Gosh, am I... Hang on. Yeah, these are the digits that are in here. Guess it could be 3. Kind of think it can't be, but maybe it can be. So, what do we do? If this is a 3. Wait, why have I now said that this can't be a 3? Hang on. Why am I saying that this isn't a 3? Excuse me? These two aren't 3 because you see those people. This isn't a 3 because it would see all those possible 3s. 3 is not that color. This isn't a 3 because it would knock out both of these. Why isn't this a 3? Oh, if this is a 3, there's no 3 in this cage, right? If this is a 3, if I put 3 here, where does 3 go in this cage? Doesn't go anywhere in here. Doesn't go there. That's not 3. This is not 3. This is 3. I think I had that earlier in a past life. Frustrating. That just took me so long to find it again. Okay. Well, that's exciting. We know we need a 3 in the cage. But now what do we do? Now what do we do? Now what do we do? We say, this is certainly not a 3. So where's 3 in here? Just not there. The annoying thing is, I want to propagate my 3s around. I want my 3s to go places. We did end up with just these 2 3s down here, right? That's a little exciting. This is still annoying. This, we got 3s. This person can't be a 3. Maybe these are 3s. I don't know. If this is 3, then what happens? If this is 3, we know it to be true that this is 3. That does mean we end up with the cage 3 is here. So it couldn't be here, because then the only place to put it would be here. It would be here. And then you'd need a 3 somewhere. Not interesting. If this is 3, where's the 3 in here? It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. It's not this color. So what? 3's in this neighborhood. What do we do about that? You can't have a 3 here, because then you'd end up with a 3 in the cage. So this is not a 3. Does any of that matter? This, I would like for you, I'd like to know something about you. I want to know something about you. I'd actually like to know if you're blue. But we do know that these, it's not enough. If any of these are 3, this is the 3. Oh, this can't be 3 anymore. That means this can't be 3, because then we couldn't have a 3 in this cage. That's not 3. Exciting. Well, yeah, one of these people has to be the 3 to make this cage happy. Who makes this cage happy now, actually? Who makes this cage happy? It's no longer you. Or you or you. Never was you. It's not you, and it's not you. And there's not a 3 here. Yeah, you're the 3. You're a 5. I'm going to claim. And I'm going to claim also that that makes you pink. So we need to un3-defy un5-of-phi. Because this 5 sees all these. Which is actually, I want to think about that for a second. Because now, doesn't this have to be a 5? Because this cage, right, this digit is here. So this is 1. You are not 1. You are no longer 5. We do need a 5 in this land. In this cage, we need a 5, and it's not here or here. So it's in here, so it can't be here. So you're not 5. One of these 2 digits is 5. That means you're not the 2. You're not a 5. We've got your 5. That's fine. We have the 5. So the 5 in here. Interesting. So in this box, 5 is only here or here. That means there's no 5 in this cage. Right? We must not have a 5 in the cage. No 3 here either. The 5, therefore, well, this, you see that one. The 5 is here. So you're not the 5. So you're 5. So you're 6. 7, 8, 9, not 7. You people are not 5s. 7, 8. Okay, one of these is a 5. In here, who is a 5? You're not because of the cage. You're not by Knight's Move. None of you are a 5. We said 5 was in here, in this cage, for reasons I don't remember. Why did we say that? Why did we say that 5 had to be in the cage here? We knew this couldn't be a 5. Because, yeah, okay. Because we knew that there's a 5 over here, so that's not a 5. This 5 rules this out. And this is not a 5. So 5 is definitely in this cage. Why couldn't this be 5? Because this wasn't 5. This would see both of these. So 5 is in here. So this appears to be correct. That one of these is the 5. right? So that means 5's definitely, that means this isn't a 5 because it would see both of those. What else does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what else that means. This cage needed a 5. You need a 5 in here that isn't in a cage. So it's just one of these, 7 or 8. That, you're still 2, 8, 9. You're not 8, though. You're 2, 5, but we removed 8 from here. We said this couldn't because of this. So you're not 8. Oopsie. 5, 8, 9 still seems to be true. So the only place for a 7 at this point is here. So that's 7, that's 5. That rules out both of these, which is okay. It seems to place the 3 here. Seems to place the 3 here. Seems to place a 3 down here. That isn't here. And isn't in the same cage. So that seems to 3-fy this, which seems to blue-fy that. So in here, we're saying 3 is not in here, and we're also saying 3 is not in the cage. So we're saying one of these digits is 3, I think. And if that's true, this is not 3, and this is 3. You were saying you're not 3. How does that feel? 2 or 5. You can't be 9 anymore. You can be. So 2 spots for 9. 3 spots for 8. 5 could be in here. The 2. Okay. We know a little bit about these digits. Yeah, enough to rule out the 1, I guess. So this is 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, but it can't be 1 and it can't be 7. So this is not 1 or 7, this is just 2, 8, 9. Is the position for the 1. Put a 1 here. Or here. Or here. We're saying this is also 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, but can't be 7 because of this. Not 7, not 7. Gosh. 7 in here. 7 sees all these. You're not 7. You're in the cage. 7 sees these. So 7 is here. Seven is not here. 7 is green, or 7 is one of the greens, turns out. But I don't know which one. Seven is one of the greens. Okay. 1 could be a blue still, annoyingly, or we almost end up with a 1-7 pair. Unfortunate. Well, interesting. If this is a 9, this can't be a 9, because if this was a 9, this would be a 3. That's not a 9, and that's not a 9. So that is only a 2 or an 8, I think. Which means this is not a 1, right? We can't have a 1 here, because that would put a 9 here. So 1 and 7 are not here. So this is a 1-7 pair, I think. And these are 1-7. I think that's true. 6 ends up in one of these, but we don't really know. I don't think we know which yet. If this is blue, then there's never a blue in the cage. If this is blue, because that's not blue and that's not blue, there's never blue in the cage. So this is not blue. This is blue. A 2, 8, 9. Do we have a similar pink problem? Yeah. If this was pink, it would never appear in the cage. I think you're not pink and you are pink. 2, 8, not 5. Means this can't be 2. This has to be 5. And this is not 5. So we end up with the 5 here. The 2, the 5 is yellow. You're not a 2, not a 2, not a 2. We're saying that blue is an 8, 9. You're not a 5. Which of these 8, 9s is blue? I don't know. I don't know. Unclear to me. This is a bit restricted, right? Is it worth pencil marking? And same here, like a bit restricted. It's middly. It is middly, and it's not 5. So this is 4, 6 only, to put a 9 here. And this is a little more ambiguous. And the 2 or the 8. This isn't middly, certainly. It's not 3. It's not very big, but could it be an 8? To put a 1 here? That's probably something I should know about that. We have placed these 3. We've placed these 3. Whatever other like nooks and crannies do we know about? Right, this digit always goes here. That's not the 5. This digit must always go here. This is the 5. That's not a 5. This is the 5. And that means this is the 9. And that means this is the 8. I believe that to be true. This digit is always here. This digit is always here. Who else needs to sneak in? This digit is always here. So that's not 3. This is the 3. Right? That places a 1 here. But I don't know if that means it's green or not, I guess. Seems to place a 3 here. That give us all of our 3s. It's very exciting. I knew the 3s were gonna help us out. I had a lot of hope for those 3s. This digit, annoyingly, well, I think we know about this digit, actually. Maybe we don't know that. Never mind. You? We're just, I'm sure there's more little like sneaky Pete's that, yeah, right. Okay, this cage needs a 9. This cage needs a 9. But it's not here, and this one breaks all of those here. And it can't be in a 7. So this is it, and it is in the 6, right? How do we feel about that? That does put a 9 down here, but it can't be here because this can't be 4. So that's the 9. And we know this digit lives here, so that's the 9. And that means these are 1s. That means this is 8. These are 8s. That means these are 9. That means these are 7. That means this is 7. Oops. That seems to mean this is 7. That seem true? This digit goes here. Who is what with the gray and the dark blue? Who do we not know? 8s are pink. Is it 2s? 2s we haven't colored yet. Is there only 2 in the grid? Right, because this, well, anyway, this is a 6, not a 4. This is a 2-6 pair. And this is the 2, and this is the 6. So 6s are gray. Right? 2s are dark blue. Is that how we feel about this situation? 5, 9, 6, a 9, a 3. Puts a 9 here in blue. This is a 4 in orange. Only our second 4. This is a 7 in hunter green. That means the low digit up here is a 2. So there's a 9 here in light blue and a 2 in dark blue. Does that seem true? This is high. It's 8. It's right before my eyes. 1 is green, and 1 must make an appearance in the snake, and it's not here, and it's not here. That is our snaky 1, which puts a 6 here. 6s are gray. The 9, the 3, we got those. We need a low digit. 1, 2, or 3 here. 1 or 2 here, I guess. There's 1 in the cage, is what's happening here. That means there's a 1 here or here along with a 4. So this is a 1-4 pair, I think. This cage lacks something. This cage lacks a 4. And this just lacks a 2. What is this cage lacking? We need an 8 in here. We need a 2, which must be here. Here we are lacking a 6 and a 4. Here we are lacking a 6 and an 8. Right? Here we are lacking an 8 outside of the snake. Here we are lacking an 8 in this cage, because it can't be here, so that's going to take over the cage. So then our 8 must not be in the cage. And this 8 sees here, so this must be the 8. We got all our 8s. Exciting. There's a 1 in here, and it can't be here because of, yeah, 1, this is just the 1, it just is. So that's 4, and that's 1. Green. This is a very challenging, but it's really good. I really like this. It feels like a Blobz throwback to Weren't those Drunken Knights the old, those early Knights Move cage puzzles? Am I wrong about that? I'm having color flashbacks. The 4 is orange. This should be easier at this point, but it's not. 6 is gray. Okay, looking pretty good. 7 is here, is not this green. 1 is here because of 7. We should have already done that. Something not indexed. Maybe we're all indexed. Who's not? Well, this is both for the squiggle and for this cage, actually. So it's 2, 6. Who is 2 seen here, 6 seen here. So the 6, the 2, which untangles these people. Excuse me. Need a 4 here. We still need a 2 in here. We still need a 7, it seems. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We still need a 4. A 7 is green. And for my last trick, that was really good. Okay, first, it was clearly right for me to just go to bed last night. That was not a good idea to bang my head on this. The thing that's annoying though is I think I actually did place this 3 last night. And had I realized that sooner, even though it was in the pencil marks, it was just a confusing pencil mark because it spanned this and I took this one out and knew this was a 3. Anyway, knowing that was a 3. But the fact that the 3s and 5s, maybe that was not the critical path, but that's how it felt, was that the 3s and the 5s were what we knew about and what we had to propagate, and then how that kind of forced everything else. So it was a combination of the old classic Blobz, color the Drunken Knights around, but with indexing, but where the 3 was important. And again, maybe that wasn't the only way to do this, but it felt like a fun way to do it, is that the 3 was kind of more important than the 1s and 9s. Like the 1s and 9s were not much of a consideration, actually. Doesn't feel like they were much of a consideration. It was good. I really liked it. Really enjoyed that. Probably could have solved it faster if I'd remembered how to land on that 3, but yeah, that was great. Great. Do I don't know if I'm going to be able to solve another puzzle today. I just want to look at the next one. This is a dangerous thing to do. Let's just look at it. Let's just take a gander. Oh, that's all. That's very cute. It's very cute. Wait, what is it? Wait, hang on. What are these? A digit in pink shaded cell in a column X indicates the column where X appears. What is this? What are you doing? What? What is this? I don't know how I feel about this. This is scary. Doesn't this have to be? I guess this could be a number of things. Oh no. This is horrifying. You filled me with fear. This would be cute with a 1, 2, 8, 9. So what are you telling me here? A digit in a pink shaded column indicates the column where X appears in the row. So that is just a 1. That is just a 5. This just is. No. A digit in a pink shaded column indicates the column where X, in column X, indicates the column where X appears in the row. Does that mean this is a 2? I'm indexing 2s here. I'm indexing 1s here, 5s here. I'm indexing 8s here. Puts an 8 here. So this is a 7 or a 9? Is that how you think about this? I gotta get my brain out of night mode. Well, this is something I don't think I've ever seen before. Is there some fun trick there? Like, we're indexing 6s. One of these is a 7, right? We're indexing 6s. We're indexing 1s, we're indexing 5s, we're indexing 9s. We're indexing 4s. We're indexing 8s. 4 needs to go here with a 3 or a 5. You're not a 5. We're looking for 4s. We're looking for 8s. We found 1. We're looking for 9s. We found 1. Looking for 1s. Looking for 2s. We're looking for 6s. This is really cool. And we still have low, middle, highness is still a going concern. That's still a. We do need a low digit here, and it's not 2. So it is 1 or 3, right? So we're saying that 8's here or here. The 4s, we know the low digit is 2 already. We could self-index. These 1s, we need a low digit, and the low digit can't be 2. Wait. Yeah, well, we need a low digit anyway. The low digit is just 1. And we need a high digit here. We need a middly digit that is definitely not 4. So we need a middly digit that is 5 or 6. And we need a high digit. We're indexing, no, that's wrong, I'm sorry. We're indexing 2s. Still not 4. So it's 5 or 6. Well, it's not 4 because of this. 5 or 6. And we need a high digit that is not 7. So it's 8 or 9. Is, I think, what we're saying. Our low digit for the 6s, I guess could be a 2. So what is, we need a high digit here. So we could have a 1. You have 1, your low digit's done. You have a high digit that's not 8. We're looking for where we want to place our 4s. We're looking for where we want to place our 5s. Our high digit is not 9. Our high digit is 7 or 8. Our low digit is not 1. So our low digit is 2 or 3. This can't be a 7. Because if this was a 7, this would have to be... No, I'm sorry. It couldn't be a 6, but I guess it could be an 8. If this was a 7... No, it can't be an 8. Yeah, this is not 7, so this is not 6. So this is a place for a 6 that is, we need a low place, which is not 3, so it is a 1 or a 2. One of these. And we need a high place, and the high place is not available. This is not high. This is just 1 or 2. I did that wrong. I'm sorry. We need a middle-y place also. That is not 4. So it's 1 or 2, and this is middle-y. 4, 5, 6, but it's not 4. If it was 5, we'd put a 6 here. If it was 6, we'd put a 6 here. Okay, I really should not try to solve this. Blobz, I have a problem. I have a problem with your puzzles. We're saying where 2s go, which is not in 4s. Right. If this is a 1, this has to be a 2. If this is a 2, this has to be a 3. If this is a 6, this can't be a 5 because this can't be a 4 or 6. And if this is a 6, this has to be a 7. So if this is a 1, this is definitely a 2. If this is a 2, can't be a 1, it has to be a 3. If it's a 6, it can't be a 5, it has to be a 7. But we said 7's up here for sure. So I think that means this is not 6. I think that means this is 1, 2 is where our 6 is. I think is something that we're saying. And then we're saying that in addition to the high digit, we need a middle-y digit. But the middle-y digits seem quite open. If this is 7, this is definitely 8. If this is 7, this can be 6 or 8. You are 1 or 2. Seems like there's always a 2 in here. Which means there's no 2s. There's always a 2 in here. Because it's 1, 2, or it's 2, 3. So this is never 2. So this is never 6. So this is never 2. But it would never be 2 anyway, actually, because we already knew that, because this is not low. We're saying 5. If we put the 2 here, if this is 5, this is 2. Which makes, this can't be 5, because if we make this 5, this, if we make this 5, we put a 2 here, and this is then, could it be a 4? If this is 5, no. If this is 5, this is 2, and this is 1 or 3, and that's low. This is never 5. So this is never 8, 9. So this means the 2 is in 5 or 6, and this means the 2 is in 8 or 9, I think is what that means. And what else? Indexing 1s that are not middle-y. And the low digit is definitely 1. So we're just looking for what our high digit is, where the 1s go. Which seems like a high digit, like this is 1, 7, 8, and this is 1, 7, 8, 9. Is that true? Because 1 could be here, or it could be here. And wait, how did I end up with 4s here? Oh, because of this. And this is either 1 or it's 7, 8, 9. If this is a 1, this is definitely a 2. And maybe that's okay. No. If this is a 1, well, yeah, this is a 2, and this is a 9, and this is a 1, I guess. If this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 9, and this is an 8, which actually works. If this is 7, this is an 8, that puts a 1 here. That may work. Feels like there's a trap there, but I don't know. Is there always a 3 here? No, this is 3, 4, or it's 4, 5. If this is a 2, then what does that mean? Then that means this is a 4, and this is a 3. And that means this is a 1, and this is a 3. So I think this can't be a 2. Let's say that one more time. If I put a 2 here, this is a 4. So then this is a 3. If this is a 2, then this is a 1, then this is a 3. So I think this is the 2, and this is the 4. And then this is 3 or 5. I don't know. That's our low digit for where 4s go. We need a middle digit for where 4s go. We need a high digit for where 4s go. So in terms of middly, we could have 4, 5, or 9 here. Oops, not 8. 4, 5, or 9 here. Here, we can maybe have 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, not 8. So this can't be 9 because then that would be 8. So this is the middle digit. That means this is 9. And I broke the puzzle. Bummer. It's already broken, right? Yeah. Shoot. Oh no. Okay. Well, I shouldn't have started this anyway. Were you the problem? Or did I mess up a long time ago? No, I messed up earlier. Okay. I think I generally get the good gist of this. I just am rushing through it, and that seems bad. So I will pick up this puzzle again later because it seems really cool. I will just restart it. And we'll just try another stack of that when I actually have time, so I don't do the thing I did yesterday, which is continually stress myself out by not having enough time. So I will upload this. Really loved this. This is like, this feels like a very special puzzle because it feels like very early Blobz plus contemporary Blobz. It feels like a throwback, but with like some more modern logic, maybe. Okay, I'm signing off. Thank you for sharing these puzzles, and I'll record more later.